I'm Everett Stroman Sr. Graduation class of 1964, Mill Springs High School, Ellerbe, North Carolina. I was president of our senior class. The night of graduation, I was on stage giving a speech, and moments into the speech, I went into another time and place. Physically, I was there, but mentally, I left the room. Let's stop here and go back a week prior to this. I was in the Roses 5 and 10 store in Rockingham, North Carolina. I placed an order for a milkshake and hamburger. My order was returned, and I was asked to get up from the counter and asked what was the problem. I was sitting here when I placed the order, and I gave you my money. Why do I have to get up now? Well, my parents was 2 doors down purchasing my graduation suit, and they heard what was going on at the Roses store. Moments before the police entered, my parents entered the store, and I left the store with no further problems. My mom said that I was alive and unhurt, even though my pride may have been hurt. I was born May 28, 1946. I was told I was born with a black veil over my face, and that kids like me would touch or would have visions. I later found out that among a lot of other problems, I was dyslexic. After the incident at Rosa 5 and 10 store, I wrote to the Selected Service Board, which was called the Draft Board at that time, and told them of my experience at the Rosa store in Rockingham. I told them that I would sign up for the draft, but I refused to go to Vietnam and fight people in Vietnam that I didn't know when I didn't have equal rights here in my own country. The same night as graduation, our family and I were on our way to Ellerbe, North Carolina for the graduation when my parents told me that we had a late night visit from the KKK the night before. They said after graduation, I was to catch the first train smoking. I was being ran out of town. I am back in graduation. Physically, I am there. Mentally, I'm still on stage, but mentally I am gone. I'm in a smoke-filled room with a lot of white men saying things that I could never imagine. They were planning to destroy the American dream as we know it. It was to be their party's plan, not God's plan. First, they were talking about the past. They said in 1890, a black man by the name of Jack Johnson was the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. He defeated everyone that faced him. However, he was always accompanied by 2 or more white females. They sought to put him in his place as they saw it, and they passed a law, ironically calling the Jack Johnson Law. It was against the law to transport a woman across the state line unless you are married. Before Mr. Johnson was aware of the law, he was arrested and found guilty. In 1944, a secret basketball game was held between North Carolina Central and Duke University basketball team. This was the first integrated sports events ever. Central won 88-44. In 1947, Joe Louis became the heavyweight boxing champion. Later, the Rosa Parks incident, Martin Luther King. The list seemed to go on and on. All the white men agreed that the black movement must be stopped by any means necessary, no matter who may get hurt or suffer. They will continue assassination of black and white leaders, passed laws in order to jail as many as they can. This brought the building of more prisons and jails, transfer jobs overseas, taking money through the courts. They planned to take hope, pride, and dreams away. They would never legalize marijuana for two reasons. First, it seemed to give users self-confidence. Second, it could boost the economy. Once the plan was implemented, it would take a domino effect and take 10 to 20 years to finally see the results. The vision ended with the people saying, white power now, white power forever. I'm back on stage at graduation and everyone's looking at me, and finally I finished my speech. After minutes pass, I can't hear anything. So for some reason I decided to do as I saw in my vision what I saw two black men doing. One was wearing a black glove on his left hand, one was wearing a black glove on his right hand. I lowered my head and raised my fist over my head for a moment, probably looking crazy, but at the time I felt proud. Now, to answer some of the questions you may be wondering about. Why me? Why not me? We all come short of being perfect. A lot of us may have some handicap one way or another. It may be that I have more problems than most of us, but I am only trying to live my life the best that I can. My father and sister were both ministers, along with some of my classmates and friends. I am not sure if the vision I saw was anything like their calling. However, I know what effects it has had in my life. I believe this vision was God's will. I tried to live my life in accordance with what was shown to me. In my lifetime, I have seen twice, first in reality and in vision. Marches, riots, beatings, fires, hearing the late Sam Cooke saying a change is going to come. Martin Luther King Jr. saying it is important how long you live, rather how well you live your life. In 1964, President Kennedy was assassinated. President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Bill. Later, Mr. Medgar Evers was killed. Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali, later lost his heavyweight title because he refused to go into the military. A lot of things I didn't understand when I had the vision. During the 9/11 attack on the Twin Towers, I saw in the fire and smoke for just a second the face that was responsible for the fire. You can see for yourself. Just check it out. Thousands of different color of people have marched for equal rights and justice for all. The group of men from my vision were trying to justify what they were doing to our country and its people. A lot of the pain and suffering, homelessness, and despair that we have experienced is what the political party referred to as the next form of slavery. All political parties have members that feel one way or another. However, in my vision, come 2014, this party will be known as the party to commit political suicide. To the youth of today's world, learn about your past so that you will be able to appreciate your present and future. You are the future for all. We all should live the golden rule. Do unto others as you will have others do unto you. The best is still yet to come. Since the beginning of time, people of all walks of life are still fighting for injustice. Injustice are a violation of the rights of others, an unfair, unjust act. It is my opinion that we all suffer when others do. Maybe not directly or indirectly. You never know. I believe it happens every day. I believe the government and presidents have forgotten the poor and homeless, the people sitting in prison for crimes that were minor or for nothing at all. My mom would say it's because of those Jim Crow laws. Most important, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. The youth of the world are our future, and they are experiencing more negative than positive in their lives. If they were able to get a proper education and find a decent job, or just find a job, they would be better off than the ones that would fall by the wayside of life's journey. I'm asking for everyone that is concerned to do what you can to leave this world better than it was before you came into it. Despite my Rosa 5 and 10 incident in Rockingham, North Carolina, I served 4 years in the United States Air Force. It is a sin, truly a sin, for people to suffer, but especially the young and the old. The reason I waited nearly 50 years to come forward with this vision is due to the fact that I was told in the vision that I was to pick the right time and place to reach as many people as possible, because I would have to do this only one time. If you gain all the wealth of the world and lose your soul, what truly have you gained? Thank you.